On July 11th, 2025, Justin Bieber released Swag, his first full-length studio album in 4 years, without any prior announcement. The rollout was as bold as the name itself. Cryptic digital billboards popped up in Times Square, Reykjavik, and downtown LA, each flashing just one word, Swag. Hours later, the album appeared on all platforms. This wasn't just a comeback. It was a reintroduction. Swag features 21 tracks, a soundscape that leans heavily into experimental hip-hop, ambient pop, and introspective R/B. Collaborators include Ghana, Sexy Red, Cash Cobain, Lil B, and even comedian-turned-rapper Drewski, a lineup as unpredictable as the release itself. But beneath the surface-level bravado, Swag is surprisingly raw. Tracks like Blue Roses and Down for Real address fatherhood, isolation, and identity. The lead single, No One's Baby Anymore, is already viral, a sparse, auto-tuned slow jam that opens with Bieber muttering, *, fame never fed me. Jack's bottle did. *, the cover art, a dimly lit home photo of Bieber in sweats, holding his infant son, surrounded by spilled cereal and tangled headphone wires, says more than words could. This isn't the slick, choreographed Bieber of the Purpose era. This is something more vulnerable and intentional. Within 12 hours, the album trended in 30 countries. Critics called it everything from post-pop minimalism to a self-aware mess. But there's no denying the impact. Swag has reignited interest in Bieber from both fans and skeptics. For an artist once defined by boy band gloss and stadium hits, this album, dropped with zero notice, might be the most rebellious act of his career. To understand the weight of Swag, you have to understand what led to it. Justin Bieber entered the music world at 15, a YouTube discovery turned global teen sensation almost overnight. By 21, he had sold out stadiums, topped charts across continents, and cultivated a public image equal parts angelic and chaotic. But the years that followed, from public outbursts to anxiety, canceled tours, and health issues, exposed the psychological toll of early fame. In 2020, changes marked a tentative return, but it lacked resonance. Justice, 2021, was better received, yet it felt transitional, Bieber experimenting with messaging and form. Then he disappeared. For almost 3 years, Bieber kept a low profile. No tours, no singles, barely any media appearances. Behind the scenes, things were changing fast. He married Hailey Baldwin. He was diagnosed with Ramsay-Hunt syndrome. And in 2025, he became a father, a shift that reportedly reset everything. Sources close to the project say Swag was recorded primarily in his basement studio in Ontario, over sleepless nights, family routines, and bouts of introspection. He produced several tracks himself, choosing lo-fi textures and distorted vocals over polished radio cuts. Gone are the chart-chasing hooks. In their place, drone beats, whispery confessions, stream of consciousness lyricism. What stands out isn't just how Swag sounds. It's that it doesn't sound like anything Bieber's done before. There's no attempt to recapture the slickness of Sorry or the euphoria of Love Yourself. Instead, it's a document, messy, sometimes aimless, often uncomfortable, of where he is now. He's no longer trying to be the best pop star in the world. He's trying to be something else entirely. And in that effort, he may have created the most interesting work of his career. The internet's reaction to Swag has been instant and complicated. On one side, fans are celebrating it as Bieber's most vulnerable and self-aware album yet. This is the most real he's ever sounded, one fan wrote on X. Others are dissecting every lyric, especially in tracks like Jack's Interlude, and I Don't Know Who That Is Anymore, which seem to address past trauma, identity loss, and fatherhood in unexpectedly poetic language. But critics are split. Some music journalists have hailed it as a genre disruption, praising Bieber's willingness to abandon structure and embrace discomfort. Rolling Stone called it *, the Yeezus of millennial pop, chaotic, brave, and possibly brilliant. Others aren't so convinced. A review from Pitchfork asked, is this reinvention or a public breakdown on wax? Several listeners have flagged the lack of musical polish and disjointed sequencing. Some tracks, they argue, feel like voice notes with background noise, rather than fully formed songs. Among artists, however, Swag is being quietly studied. Producers from Tyler, the creator's camp, posted support on IG stories. Cash Cobain called it *, exactly what pop needed. Weird and soft, and ego-free. Even former collaborators like Skrillex posted emoji reactions signaling curiosity, if not praise. What's clear is this: Bieber isn't chasing the playlist. He's chasing something truer *. And whether or not Swag hits the charts, it's at a nerve. Even non-believers are watching closely. Because when an artist this big deliberately makes himself small, it forces everyone else to ask, what's really worth listening to? Swag isn't just a turning point for Bieber. It might be a pivot for pop music itself. In a genre that thrives on polish, control, and algorithms, Bieber's decision to drop a lo-fi, unmarketed, 21-track mood board defies every rule. There are no lead singles, no structured hooks, no accompanying tour. And yet, Swag is trending globally. This signals something deeper, a hunger for imperfection. In the post-TikTok era, audiences are getting used to sound that feels real grainy vocals, unedited intros, abrupt endings. What swag does is push that aesthetic into the mainstream. Suddenly, it's okay for a song to trail off mid-thought if the emotion is right. Labels are paying attention. In the past 48 hours, and our teams at 2 major U.S. labels have reportedly greenlit experimental drop tests with other high-profile artists. Several independent musicians are also seeing boosts after posting minimalist, Bieber-inspired tracks tag #swagcore. Meanwhile, streaming data shows something striking. Swag isn't topping playlists, but listeners are playing it all the way through. That kind of full album retention is rare, and brands are noticing. Spotify's editorial team added Swag to its new unfiltered mood list, a playlist traditionally reserved for cult and underground releases. It's the first time a Bieber track has appeared there. There's even talk that Bieber's shift could open doors for mid-tier artists to bypass traditional marketing altogether. If someone is overexposed as Justin can disappear for 3 years and return with nothing but a 3 a.m. upload, the game may be changing. If Swag lands the way it seems to be, it could be Justin Bieber's most important album. Not because of how it sounds, but because of what it chooses to be. For years, Bieber has been boxed in. The teen heartthrob, the controversy magnet, the radio hitmaker. But Swag rejects all of that. There's no image rehab here. No comeback anthem. Just a man figuring himself out in front of a mic. And that's what gives the album its emotional weight. It's not crafted to win Grammys. It's crafted to survive fatherhood, regret, and silence. If Bieber's early albums were built for the stage, Swag feels built for 2 a.m. walks and headphone sessions. The songs feel like voice memos you weren't meant to hear, but somehow needed to. And that vulnerability may define this next chapter. In doing so, Bieber has cracked open a lane for something we rarely allow pop stars to become. Complex, private, unmarketable humans. Not every song lands, not every lyric is gold. But that's the point. He's not just reinventing his sound. He's redefining what pop careers can look like after the spotlight fades. It's too early to say what Swag will mean long-term. But if it sparks a trend of artists releasing messier, more honest work, if it tells fans that growth isn't always glamorous, then it's already succeeded. Justin Bieber isn't trying to reclaim his throne. He's building a different kingdom entirely, quieter, stranger, and more real.